Hello, hello. I think I'm live, but it says live. Oh, hang on. It says live video starting. Anyway, if I'm live and you're watching the replay, hi, just bear with me for a second. Here we go. It says that we're live. Oh, yes. Now we are. Hi. Hello, hello. I am excited about this live because it's like, I don't know, starting your business is so exciting and it's such an incredible time. But then it's like, oh, it can just easily get really overwhelming and kind of send us into a tail, like a downward spiral super quick. So if you're watching the replay, which most people tend to, um, maybe let us know. I would like to come back and answer your questions. Like, let us know just kind of what the most overwhelming thing for you is in starting your business. And I'm going to break it down into 4 steps here. And these are the 4 steps that I wish I would have done, and it would have helped me through that initial setup and getting those first clients coming in, which, took me a good year to figure out. By following these steps, you'll be able to figure this out much quicker. So, who's joining me? I think there's a couple people on. You can say hi. And then, yeah, if you're watching the replay, just let me know what you're struggling with as far as getting your business started. Is it getting clients? Is it knowing how to put your offering out there? What are you struggling with? So, when you're starting your business, I think a lot of times what I've seen where people get stuck is they think that they have to have everything ready first. They have to have the website, they have to have the pictures, they have to have everything perfect. And this is where most entrepreneurs or want to be entrepreneurs get hung up is the getting ready to get ready to get ready. Oh, Danielle, lovely to see you, sister. I'm glad you're finally making it live. Oh, hi, Marie. So beautiful to see you. Um, I think so many people get stuck getting ready to get ready to get ready, and they end up getting caught in the minutia of just the tiny little details, and they feel like everything has to be perfect, when in actuality, a lot of that stuff doesn't even need to happen. One of my past clients who also came on to work for me last year, she built her business up to $250,000 a year without even having a website. She had no website and she had no social media. Um, so it's totally possible. We don't actually need a lot of these things to fall into place first. And a lot of times we spend and waste time trying to create things perfectly, and we do things in the wrong order. Hi, Sandy. Oh, so nice to be able to see you live too. Thank you for joining me. So here, this is going to feel maybe a little unnatural to some of you guys. But here's the reality of the situation. So the first 4 steps to getting your business started is one. Hi, Denise. Oh, so nice to have you here. Thank you for joining me. The first thing that we need to do before we do website, before we start posting on social media, the first thing we need to actually do is package our offering. So what does this container look like that we're going to bring people into to create some kind of transformation? And this works across the board, right? So like my programs don't work for product-based businesses. That's just different. But this will work for any service-based entrepreneur, coach, healer, psychic, therapist, health practitioner, a graphic designer. I mean, this will work for any kind of service-based entrepreneur. So if you have a service or you have the desire to offer some kind of service, what is that? First, we need to package it. We definitely don't want to go out there and start promoting ourselves or creating websites or creating programs right away. We just want to have a rough outline of what is it that I can offer. And so, for example, this might look like a 12-week container. And when I say container, I mean 12-week package, where if you're a healer, maybe this 12-week package has 6 bi-weekly sessions. And then in between, it's you help them integrate what happened in the healing into their lives, right? Because that's where the transformation really happens. And that's what I'm so passionate about creating, is not doing one-off sessions, because I know from my own personal experience, I've done a lot of healing, a lot of different modalities over the last 10 years. And when I've done a one-off session, it's amazing and powerful, and so much can shift and change and happen. But unless I then work to integrate what moved through me or what came up for me with that coach or that healer in that session, I don't have that transformation that happens in my life. So that's why I help you to create that container and that transformation, right? So how do you package that? What does that look like for you? And once you have that, we don't go and build out a program, don't even create your website yet, because the second step is we always have to have proof of concept before we take our idea and build things around it, like websites, programs on like Teachable or Kajabi or whatever, like online courses. We need to have proof of concept. And what does proof of concept look like? It's 5 to 8 paid clients coming through your container. Okay? 5 to 8 paid clients coming through your container, whatever that looks like. That is proof of concept. Once you have 5 to 8 relatively easy, I might say, paid clients coming through, you know what you have is sellable. You will also have had the opportunity to like, okay, did this work? That was what I was trying to do with them. Did it actually work? Did it create a transformation in their lives? Am I in integrity by now offering a monetary exchange for my services? Right? I know personally, I never in the beginning, I took on 7 or 9, I can never remember. It's either 7 or 9 practice clients through my program, my idea of a program before I even remotely decided to go for paid clients. And so by the time I was ready to have, 5 to 8 paid clients, I knew that I could get that transformation for people. And so I felt so much more in integrity, charging for my services. So I always am like the hugest fan of staying in our integrity. So I don't like to take, I always say to my clients, take a few practice free clients through pro bono, free practice clients, whatever you want to call it, through your idea or your concept or your package to make sure you can create that transformation that you're then going to go out and sell. Okay. So again, step 1 is package your offering or your container. 2 is proof of concept. 5 to 8 relatively easy paid sales. Once you have those 5 to 8 relatively easy paid sales, you have something that we can now take to market. So now and only now do we spend time creating a website or building our social medias around this or building out maybe a program in Kajabi or Teachable or however we want to do that, but never after we have proof of concept, which is 5 to 8 paid sales. Okay. Once we have 5 to 8 paid sales and we know, okay, this is working, people are buying, I'm creating that transformation, I'm in my own integrity, then we can start to scale a little bit from there. So you may be asking, and this isn't part, I wasn't going to talk about this, but I'll just share briefly, how do I get the 5 to 8 paid sales? How do I get proof of concept? Where do those 5 to 8 clients come from? Usually those will be already in your inner circle. So you could post on social media if you want to. You might get a couple from social media, but the majority of them will come through personal reach outs or referrals. So for example, my first 5 to 8 paid clients came through, like my husband at the time had sent an email out to his team. He had like 70 people reporting into him and was just like, hey, my wife is starting this life coaching business. She's offering a 7 spots at 50% off in exchange for feedback and a testimonial. And I think I filled 5 spots that way. The next was a cousin of mine who I knew was really struggling with her life purpose and career at the moment. My nanny also came on as one of my 5 to 8 paid clients. So they're always going to be, not always, but the majority of them are going to be floating around your inner circle, and they're going to come from you doing a personal reach out. Hey, do you know anyone who's struggling with XYZ? I would love to work with them at half the price in exchange for feedback and a testimonial. So that's really how you're going to get those 5 to 8 paid clients. Again, you can post on social media if you want, but 9 times out of 10, it's not going to work. And I share in a lot of my trainings why social media is just so freaking hard to build a business to 6 figures using social media. So then once we have those 5 to 8 paid clients, step 3 is dial in your transformation. So get really good at talking about the transformation. This is how you sell later and scale your business. And this is how you're going to get into consistency. So I'm all about not just having one big month and then not having any idea where clients are going to come from. My goal for all of you and for my clients is helping get sustainability in their business, in your business, predictability in your business, sustainability, predictability, and consistency because once we are predictable, more consistent, and more sustainable, our nervous systems can we can relax because we know where our clients are coming from. We know where our income is coming from, and we can actually show up and have a more powerful effect on our clients as coaches and as healers because we know we're abundantly taken care of and supported. So in order to do this, we can't just go out to market and talk about our package or our container. We talk about the transformation. Okay. So we talk about the transformation. Hang on a second. It's giving me some kind of a. Okay, there we go. We talk about the transformation. So, for example, let's say I am talking about my life purpose program. So, rather than saying when I'm going to scale and I'm really taking my program out to market, rather than talking about I have a 10-week program that includes weekly coaching calls and a Facebook group, right? I'm going to say I have a program that's going to help you figure out what your divine gifts are. What is your life purpose? What are you meant to do? What is the business that you're here to start? And in 10 weeks, I will have that figured out. You and I will figure this out together. You will know exactly what business you're going to start, one that is fully aligned with your life purpose. Do you see how dialed in that transformation is? So we always talk about the transformation and not the logistics of our program. So that's the step 3 is after you have proof of concept, we work to get you dialed in on what is that transformation that I'm creating through this container and how are these people's lives going to be different on the other side when they come out of working with me. Okay. And then step 4, it's all about visibility and making offers. Visibility and making offers. Visibility and making offers. And that is only what you need to focus on. How can I get eyes on me? How can I get new eyes on me so that I'm not just posting on social media endlessly and reaching the same people over and over and over again? Think bigger. Put on your entrepreneurial CEO hat and think big. How can you get eyes on you and on your work and not just sit there and endlessly post on the hamster wheel of social media? This might look like partnering with a local radio station to have a spot to talk about, whatever it is that your area of expertise is. Maybe this is getting published in a monthly magazine that goes around your neighborhood. Maybe this is getting yourself on podcasts once a month. Maybe this is speaking at spiritual festivals or virtual festivals, or the way that I teach is creating a signature workshop and holding small, intimate workshops virtually, basically anywhere, and bringing clients in that way. I also teach getting published in the media and getting on podcasts, but it's all about visibility and making offers. And the sooner you can start to train your brain around that, it's not just creating content and showing up on social media that's going to get you nowhere fast. It's visibility and making offers. Without those two things, and if you're visible and not making offers, you're not going to have sales. If you're making offers on social media and you're not being visible in other ways, you're not going to make sales. So it comes down to visibility and making offers. That's really how you want to think about it. So again, just to kind of repurpose and reframe, 1, package your offer and create that container. 2, get proof of concept. 5 to 8 paid clients. And if you're just joining us now, again, I talk about in the beginning kind of how to get those first 5 to 8 paid clients. 3rd, dial in your transformation and get really good at talking about your transformation and what is going to be different in your clients' lives tangibly when they come out of working with you. And then number 4, how to get eyeballs on you. Visibility, making offers. Visibility, making offers. And if anyone wants support, of course, I think most of you probably know Soul Business Accelerator is my 4-month program, and we put all this in place for you, help you do that so that you have sustainability, consistency, and predictability in your income and in your business. If you need help, just reach out to me or comment here and we'll come back. You can book a link to talk with Lizzie or myself, and we can get you in. But these are the 4 things that you should focus on: not creating a course, not creating your website. These 4 things first, and the rest comes later. Okay? All right. I hope that this was helpful for you, and I will see you either inside my program or on the live next week. Mwah! Thank you all.